Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our February 19, 2026 Superintendent and Board recognitions. We will have to you our staff member, Mr. Jaffion.
Good afternoon, Board. I am ecstatic today to introduce to you our music specialist for the Department of Fine Arts of EBR, Mr. Glenn Sherman, to bring some wonderful accolades to these talented students that are in our schools in EBR. So I am going to turn it over to Mr. Sherman.
Thank you, Dr. Joe Frion. Good afternoon, President Stewart, Vice President Lewis, members of the board. I bring to you today two groups of some outstanding musicians. These are students from EBR schools who were selected to the Louisiana All-State Honor Bands, Honor Choirs, Honor String Orchestras, and Honor Jazz Groups. These students had to go through a rigorous audition in order to make it through audition process. Some of them had to go through 2 auditions to make it. And of the 375, approximately, give or take, students in Louisiana who were selected, EBR was fortunate to have selected 55 students. So behind me, so these are our middle school students who were selected. These students come from Glasgow Middle, Westdale Middle, McKinley Middle, and Sherwood Middle. And I would like their teachers, the regular music faculty, stand and be recognized, please.
Parents, if you hold up before you move, if you're standing too far away, come on up and get you a good picture now. We only pass this way once. Come on up and get you a good photo. All right, Marlon. Marlon, let's get a photo with the parents in the photo now. Let's get the parents in the photo. Bring all the parents to get in the photo. Take a picture with your baby, because they're going to grow up and leave home one day. And I want to take a picture with you. They're not going to want to take a picture with you. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah.
$5. Good. Wonderful. Okay, guys. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
And also we have our high school students who were selected to the Louisiana All-State groups. These students come from Baton Rouge High School, and I would like their students, the regular faculty, their teachers, the regular faculty who work with them every day to stand and be recognized, please.
Thank you, Mark. Go ahead, Coach.
I don't think the United States won this many gold.
Hey, sir, how are you? They're a little bit taller.
Yeah, right. But I just down here. They hadn't started, they just had happened. Oh. They hadn't started taking pictures. Right, I know. No, they didn't have to, never know.
Hey, sir, how are you doing? You're not running this. You want to make it? You got to make certain that you make it. So we're not taking a whole
Yes. Go Bulldogs.
If there's a lot of people there, if you got a lot of comments after that, you gotta say, yeah, this one, yes, this not everything. That's all I'm saying. Because the way the next fight, not even read like a title. Yeah. We're create some chaos. That's what I was talking about. I got to talk to all But if they ask me to do something and I tell them no, it's not going to be on me to say that I can't do it. It's going to be on y'all. You really rather want to go in that direction. So maybe you ought to bring it to a vote. But then if you bring it to a vote, you got to make sure you feel like you or prove what you want. Is Darryl going to be tonight? You know?
Chief.
Let's slush for it. Yeah, I told my wife.
Thank you again for your service.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Go stand with Delia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Freeman. And last but certainly not least, we had one teacher who was recognized at the Louisiana Music Education Convention last month in New Orleans, Miss Claire Gerling, choir teacher at McKinley Middle School. Ms. Gerling was recognized as an Outstanding Young Music Educator Award for the year. In order to receive that award, she has to be 5 years or less in the classroom, and she also had to go through a rigorous audition process of proving that she has grown personally, professionally, and also her choir has grown as well. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Thank you for your service. Sincerely appreciate you.
Also tell them it's critical that they meet and review all of this stuff with the board before they go out and talk to anybody, because they can be inundated with questions and people having comments and stuff like that. They have to know what it is before, because I know.
And last but not least, we have Ms. Ruffin that will be presenting on behalf of VIPS.
100%.
Good afternoon, President Stewart, Vice President Lewis, Superintendent Cole, and members of the board. I am Judy Bethley, and I am the Executive Director of Volunteers in Public Schools. And this is Philippia Ruffin, who's going to be with you from now on. She's our new staff member. But tonight, we are so honored to present the Partnership Award, because anytime we talk about partnerships, we're talking about people who give their time and talents to share with our students. And not that they want anything in return, it's because they have a concern for the welfare of our students. So we're always so appreciative of that. And VIPS, we get to be a part of that because we consider ourselves as a connector from the community to the schools. And tonight, we are really proud to celebrate the service-minded women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, of which I am a member. And tonight, it's the Baton Rouge Delta alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. But last year, Principal Casey Wells of Marydale asked us to come over for a partnership meeting, and she said, what I really want for my students is a book vending machine. And we just looked at her and we said, okay, Ms. Wells. But then we went to work and we thought about Atmos Energy. They have a connection to a book vending machine business, and they can afford the book vending machine. So we called them, and they were delighted because they already have a relationship with Marydale. They adopted the school. And then the stars were aligned because I got a call from my sorority sisters, and they said, we want to gift new culturally appropriate books to a school. And I said, well, here we go. There's Marydale Elementary, who has this new huge vending machine that you can fill up with books. And they were delighted because they also have reading friends at that school. And so we all got together and they were able to gift we got the vending machine, and they were able to fill it with books. But they didn't stop there. They said, we're going to keep this machine filled with new books for the next 3 years. So we were really glad because of that commitment. And we're happy to have them here tonight. And I'm going to introduce you to their president, Ms. Lakonga Hilliard Scott. She's going to say a few words, as well as Ms. Casey Wells from Marydale.
Okay. Thank you. President Stewart, Vice President Lewis, Superintendent Cole, and board members, thank you all for having us here on this afternoon. Yeah, afternoon. So as you heard, we do the work not for recognition. So when we received the email, I'm like, oh, they want us to come to the school board meeting and be recognized for what? It was the book vending machine. So it's crazy how things align. We had a vision within the chapter. So we have a little library that's at the Leo S. Butler Center in the South Baton Rouge area. But the members wanted to do something on a larger scale, so we started the conversation of a book vending machine. Made contact with VIPS, didn't realize that this conversation had already happened prior to us reaching out, and we are fortunate to have partners such as VIPS, Marydale, and Atmos Energy so that we can reach our children with literacy. So educational development is one of our sorority's main priorities. So being able to put books in the hands of the little people and see their reaction when they know, hey, you get to keep that book and it goes home with you. So thank you all for accepting our ask and coming into Marydale to place a book vending machine there to reach our children across the community. So, and thank you for the recognition on this afternoon.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I just wanted to say what an honor this has been to partner with these ladies, with Atmos Energy. My students, when they were told that they get to keep the book, you would have thought I was giving out Super Bowl tickets. They were, and it was so exciting to see because now that they actually have access. They have access to books that they can bring home and start to build their home libraries. And the great thing about the vending machine, when the students earn that token, they go to that vending machine and they actually pick books that are on their level that they can read. And that makes me so proud because you'll see them while they're waiting on the bus in the afternoon, those books are open and they're reading. And that's exciting to see. And we are just so thankful that we have this partnership with these wonderful ladies for the next 3 years. And I really, really applaud VIPS for all the work that they do in our school system because without them, it would be very difficult to make these partnerships happen. So thank you.
Can we get a picture? Okay. Coach, the picture.
So you can take our picture? Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, everyone, that concludes our board recognitions. Our board meeting, we'll take a recess and our board meeting will start in exactly 5 minutes.
Got to bang the gavel? Oh, no, that's just my flow. Oh, yeah.
Their recognition is.
Let me get plugged up just in case it be a long night.
Thank you, April.
I need to, I'm gonna talk to y'all after.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to our regular board meeting for the February 19, 2026 agenda. The invocation will be led by School Board Member Emily Sule, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Cadet Sergeant Soraya Martinez of Liberty Magnet High School, accompanied by Colonel Retired Jonah Hughes. Would everyone please stand?
Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we pause at the beginning of this meeting to thank you for the opportunity to serve our community. We're grateful for the students entrusted to our care, for their families, for our teachers and staff, and for each person gathered here this evening. Grant us wisdom as we make decisions that will shape the future of our schools. Help us to listen with open minds, speak with kindness and clarity, and act with integrity and courage. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal Malbrough. I am the Senior Army Instructor for Cybersecurity at Liberty High School. I'd like to thank you all for inviting us over today. I'm going to give you all a quick bio regarding Cadet Sarai Martinez. She recently won the East Baton Rouge JRTC Let 2 Board of the Year recipient. She's a sophomore at our school and also active member of the Army ROTC Cybersecurity Program. She currently serves as Assistant Public Affairs Officer in the Patriot Battalion, where she demonstrates strong leadership, accountability, and commitment to team success. In addition, she maintains a 4.3 GPA while enrolled in honors and STEM-focused coursework. Outside of the classroom, she is a member of the Color Guard, the drill teams, and also the Digital Media Club that we host at Liberty. She recently helped lead her team to an EBR drill competition victory. Recently, she assisted in designing and presenting a cybersecurity awareness project focused on protecting adults from online social engineering threats that we presented at LSU's Allen Hall. She also is a member of the Church of God, the Miracle, as a dance team member and a choir member. In the future, she is considering digital media with a specialty in graphic design. She is also recognized by faculty and peers for her integrity, discipline, and her academic and leadership excellence. Patriot pride.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait, don't go anywhere.
I'd like to present you with this medal from the school board and the superintendent. Sooner or later, congratulations, and look forward to your next 2 years in high school. And I can just imagine what you're going to accomplish since what you've already done so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Madam Secretary. Can I have a roll call, please?
District 4, President Stewart.
Present.
District 5, Vice President Lewis.
Present.
District 1, Mr. Blue.
Here.
District 2, Mr. Lannis.
Here.
District 3, Ms. Powell Lewis. District 6, Mr. Russ.
Present.
District 7, Mr. Gode.
Here.
District 8, Ms. Sule.
Here.
District 9, Mr. Martin.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving along to item B, meeting minutes. Approval of the school board minutes of the January 8th, 2026 special meeting, the January 8th, 2026 committee of the whole meeting, and the January 15th, 2026 regular board meeting as published in the official journal. Do I have a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Gode and have a second by Mr. Martin. Are there any comments? Abraham, the cards? No, I know. I was just trying to see if any. Okay. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those in opposition say nay. Madam Secretary, can you call for a vote?
Please vote. The motion carries.
Thank you. Moving along to item C, information only, the monthly financial report and personnel changes. Next, we have receive as information, and we have our lovely superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President, Vice President, members of the board, those of you who are here and those watching at home. February 18th marks 18 months for me in service as superintendent, 563 days as of today, but who's counting? February is a month-long celebration of Black history, a time to honor the profound contributions that African Americans have made to our nation's history, culture, and pursuit of justice. It calls us to celebrate achievement, prioritize representation, advance educational opportunities, and strengthen the bonds that unify our community. It reminds us all that Black history is not confined to February. It is essential to understanding American history as a whole. As educators, we embrace this responsibility. Our strategic plan provides clear direction for key areas in which we organize our work. Let's go higher as we share our updates grounded in the core commitments of our strategic plan. On the area of student achievement, I want to say a special thank you to every school leader, every teacher, and every student across our district for your outstanding participation in our Zern Mardi Gras Challenge. Zern is a Tier 1 math learning platform that provides standards-aligned digital lessons to help students build deep conceptual understanding and strengthen their math skills. Our district completed over 230,000 on-grade level lessons, an incredible reflection of dedication and commitment to strong teaching and learning happening across EBR each day. We also extend special congratulations to our top performing schools in the challenge. Top 5 elementary schools for lessons per student were Wildwood, Twin Oaks, Belfair, Greenbrier, and Magnolia Woods. Top 3 middle schools were Estruma, Sherwood Middle, and Woodlawn Middle. Continue the excellent work, and teachers and school leaders, let's continue to ensure our students are logging on and participating in Zern the appropriate amount of times each week. We see from the data that there is an increase in how our students are performing in the area of math on our common formative assessments, and we recognize and understand that using the Zern platform has helped to support our students, so we want to continue to do that. It's open enrollment season for pre-K students entering the system during the upcoming school year. The online application is open now, and families can access it and other information at the district's homepage. EBR is currently ranked #1 in Magnet Mania District of the Year. To that end, I do want to make an introduction of our executive director, our new executive director of innovative programs, who I've been recruiting for about 6 months, who finally agreed to join our team. She just started on last Friday. Dr. Cassandra McNair, if you want to stand and wave so everybody can see you. Thank you for joining our team. We were able to recruit her from Virginia by way of California. She has served in a number of district level leadership positions, so we're excited to have you here, and she's going to be reaching out to every board member to discuss your ideas relative to our innovative programs and what we can do to improve and get better. Want to thank Ms. Wright and Ms. Wells for holding it down over the last year in our Magnet office particularly, but to all of the individuals who have served in leadership in our innovative program division. Thank you for your efforts, and I want to thank Ms. Edwards for stepping up and assisting over the last year. But now all of this work is going to fall in your direction. Dr. McNair, you know what I told you when we spoke. Get right or get light. You know what that means, right? Okay, all right. The district is proud to celebrate the opening of the new inclusive playground at South Downs Pre-K, which reflects the ongoing dedication to creating welcoming and engaging spaces for all of our students. Ms. Scott asked myself, Board Member Gode, and Mr. Gilbert for a playground, and we're excited. We were able to deliver that playground to those students at South Downs today. Phenomenal experience. I do want to make mention when viewing Magnum Mania posts on your school social media accounts, please like and share them. Encourage staff and family, students, and partners to vote with your own social media messaging efforts. Remember to use the hashtag MagnetMania when you post and share. The Eye Care program would host the 13th Annual Prevention Summit on February 20th, 2026 at the Pennington Biomedical Research Conference Center. The prevention-focused educational sessions will be open to all stakeholders and mental health professionals. During the month of February, Health Services Department hosts Give Kids a Smile events for every elementary student across the district. This is a national initiative that provides free oral health care to underserved children. Last week, 150 students from Cedar Crest Elementary School received cleaning and dental education at Associates in Pediatric Dentistry. Please check with your school's nurse for additional information about this program. Under the area of operational excellence, the new district-wide visitor management system is now in phase 4 of the implementation plan. Schools included are Southeast Middle, Claiborne Elementary, Glen Oaks High, Park Elementary, Capitol High, Bel Air High School, EBR, C-Tech, EBR Virtual, Woodlawn High, Liberty High, Tara High, Crystal McCullough, Rosenwald, and the Kiel Center. Under the area of employee development, it gives me great pleasure to announce Gwen Shamlin is not with us this evening. Well, that doesn't give me pleasure to announce he's not with us. However, he is being recognized tonight by the mayor. The Metro Council and the mayor are recognizing him and the Shamlin family for their contribution to the community as part of the Black History Month celebration the city is holding. His parents, Gwen, Brunetta Shamlin, have all made a lasting impact on our school system, and it is evident that their legacy continues. Our EBR family joins in honor of them. Keep up the good work, Mr. Shamlin. In his absence, we have Michael Victorian Jr., who is here to assist us tonight. Any tough questions we have, we may as well ask him since he doesn't have to be here on a regular basis. He can take the heat tonight. Please join the community engagement team on Saturday, February 28th at Royal Plaza, downtown Baton Rouge for the 225 Fest, a celebration of the city's food, music, and art, and a whole lot more. Look for our tent and district displays at the event. We'd love to see you there. We are proud to officially partner with the Baton Rouge Zydeco hockey team to bring EBR Parish Student Night on the ice. This is more than just about hockey. It's about prioritizing our kids, creating access, and giving students the opportunity to experience something new, exciting, and positive right here in our city. The members of the Baton Rouge Zydeco, the players, have visited our schools this week. Yesterday we were at Mayfair Lab. Today we were at Park Elementary, and tomorrow we'll be at Cedar Crest Southmore. The players have been extremely excited to engage with our students, to show them tricks with the hockey sticks and the puck, and then even on yesterday they played a game with the students at Mayfair Lab. So it's been really exciting to see, and really nice to watch our students who may not get an opportunity to experience hockey in the way that other cities have who have professional hockey teams. So EBR night is going to be Sunday, February 22nd at 3:05 p.m. The players told me I can't say 3 p.m. I have to say 3:05 because that's exactly what time the game is supposed to start. I'll be dropping the puck for the beginning of the game, and I want to thank Empire Wings for sponsoring 30 kids at 2 of our schools to participate and go to the game on Sunday. So big shout out to Empire Wings. You keep stepping up and supporting our school system in a major way. Please continue to support Baton Rouge Zydeco as they continue to support us, and visit the social media channels for more information about how you can secure your ticket. And I hope to see you there when I drop the puck on Sunday afternoon. Tonight, in addition to everything I've shared, we have 2 presentations. One is going to be from the Executive Director of our foundation, Ms. Jennifer Lightfoot. If you'd come forward, please. She's going to do a presentation to give us some updates around what's happening in our foundation, and then we're going to hear from one of our outstanding principals at one of our elementary schools.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see you. I am the Executive Director of the Foundation of East Baton Rouge School System, and I'm here tonight to provide a brief mid-school year update on our foundation's work and fundraising in support of EBR schools. First, workforce development. Last year, we were awarded $100,000 through the Fuel Initiative to support paid internships. We weren't able to fully deploy the funds last year, and we successfully petitioned to carry the remaining balance forward for summer of 2026 for internships. Second, STEM education. ExxonMobil awarded $200,000 to support high school STEM programming, STEM kits, and our Star STEM teacher grants. We've completed 2 grant rounds, one in the fall and one in January, and have awarded 18 teachers grants up to $2,500. We have more to share on outcomes toward the end of the school year. EBR has hosted one of the STEM Saturdays in the fall and have another one coming in March, and that is in partnership with STEM NOLA. And $50,000 of the Exxon support funded K through 5 STEM kits purchased for our schools. Third, early childhood education. Through a partnership we've built with the Baton Rouge Area Foundation and the Huey and Angelina Wilson Foundation, our 2 major early childhood education supporters, we have raised $500,000 for the EBR ECE program, and these dollars are eligible for the Louisiana dollar for dollar match, effectively doubling the impact for early childhood education. And we'll have a formal announcement about the total amount raised coming soon. Separately, we received $113,000 out of cycle support from the Wilson Foundation to help fund early childhood seats at the YWCA Micro Center that was relocated from Capitol to Melrose Elementary. Fourth, Band Together EBR. Liberty's band uniforms are fully funded thanks to a gift from the Nathanson Family Foundation. Glen Oaks is our next priority, and because the district-wide need exceeds $500,000, this will be a multi-year campaign that we will continue to advance. Finally, annual fund. Historically, the foundation was not a traditional fundraising entity. We primarily helped channel private support to the school system. Going forward, we know we must actively fundraise, so we're building an annual fund to create reliable, unrestricted general operating dollars. We plan to launch in July of 2026, and we'll start by engaging district leadership, employees, teachers and staff, and parents, then expand to local businesses and community members over time. Before I wrap up, I want to thank you on behalf of the Foundation's Board of Directors. This year reflects our strongest fundraising progress we've seen in recent years, and we're grateful for the leadership of this board, for Superintendent Cole, for the district leadership team, as well as our principals and educators. Thank you for your partnership and for your continued support of our teachers and our students.
Thank you, Ms. Lightfoot. Keep up the excellent work. Sincerely honored and a pleasure to work with you and partner with the foundation as we continue to look for ways to improve the things we do and support what we do in our school system. At this time, we're going to hear from one of our outstanding school leaders from Highland Elementary School. Ms. Johnson is doing a phenomenal job at Highland Elementary, and she's going to share with us all the wonderful things that are happening at the school. Ms. Johnson.
Good evening from Highland Elementary. I'm Principal Jamaica Johnson, and I first want to say thank you guys so much for having me here, and thank you for allowing us to share our story. Highland Elementary currently has 407 students, and we service grades pre-K through 5th. We have pre-K, ESS, and ELL programs on our campus.
To the mic for us.
We also have 45% of our students that are African American, 50.6% are Hispanic, 83% are economically disadvantaged, 13% are ESS, and 40% are ELL. This year, Highland is soaring to excellence. For the 2024-2025 school year, Highland grew to a 49.3 B letter grade for the school year. We are super excited, and we celebrate it, and we have been celebrating all year. We have grown from a C letter grade to a B, and our SBS accomplishments is that we have an 11.8 growth increase. We are the second highest growth K through 8 school in the district, and we are the 9th highest K through 8 school in the state. According to our new SBS calculator, for the Achieve Percent to Mastery and Above, we have a 56.5% in ELA, 30.6% in math, 25.7 in science, 23.9 in social studies. And in our grow area, we have 61.1% of our students grew in ELA, 63.2% of our students grew in math, 59.5% of our students grew as far as our bottom 25 in ELA, and 68.4% of our students grew for our bottom 25 in math. The percent of our EL students progressing is 54.9, and we had a straight A rating in growth from last year.
Awesome.
For state-mandated assessments for DIBELS, which is another component that's being added to our SBS calculator, we are proud to say from 2022 end of year to 2025 end of year, we have grown 35% on our DIBELS assessment. We went from a 35% proficiency to a 70% proficiency. It is truly the work of the teachers, our students, and our families that have contributed to this success. Again, for proficiency, just showing that we are continuing to climb the ladder of success and growth, and that you can see from kindergarten to third grade, we're continuously improving. Most importantly, we have to talk about the heart of the tiger. So here are a couple of pictures to show our faculty, students, and families and how they support and continue to help Highland grow. And I would be remiss to say that we also have family and community involvement. We have a strong partnership with University Baptist Church, with other organizations in the community such as Costco, Big Buddy, our VIPS program, so thank you so much, as well as our eye care program and our community members within our neighborhood who service our school as much as possible. We are truly thankful. So again, thank you guys for allowing us to share our story, and we hope that you continue to support and provide what we need at Highland. We are so grateful.
Ms. Johnson, do me a favor, go back to the slide where you talked about the growth of all of your students. I think it's really significant that we acknowledge that at Highland Elementary, you have shown growth to the extent of earning an A in every area of growth on the school campus, particularly with our ELL students. I know you've heard myself and Deputy Superintendent Smith say to you and request of you that you write the book for the entire district in terms of how we support our ELL students, because you have a tremendous ELL population at your school, and the work that you all are doing by way of intervention, by way of supporting the students, by way of engagement, getting them to come to school every single day throughout many of the challenges that other communities have seen relative to that population of students showing up at school. You are doing a tremendous job, and so to earn an A across the board, just kudos to you. And as much as we have shared to you on time and time again, please continue to share the phenomenal things you're doing with your students. And in addition to that, put pressure on your school board member to really lobby this board to build you a new facility at that location.
Sir.
Put pressure on your school board member, not me, on your school board member to lobby for you to have. We know it's a historical facility, but it's an old building, and you guys are doing amazing work in that building with all of those students. So kudos to you. Can't thank you enough for your hard work and your dedication. I know I'm gonna get in trouble because the principal is gonna say I didn't talk about them like this, but you know, I visited your school a number of times, and you are always in a good mood, high-spirited. And is there any member of your team here tonight?
Yes, sir. I have my amazing assistant principal, Ms. Jennifer Petty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for your hard work and dedication, and continue to share, support, and teach other school leaders how to implement the strategies that you are using, because we're definitely sharing what you've shared with us.
Thank you so much.
And before you go, wait, we have board comments. Ms. Paul Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your presentation, and this is quite refreshing to see. My question is about parental involvement. You mentioned that the parents were active or active in your school. So what does that look like? Is it a PTA, PTO? What do you do to engage your parents to get them to come and be supportive?
So we don't have an active PTO or PTA, but we do build connections with our families. And so we acknowledge them when we see them when they're coming on campus, when they're in carpool, when we have our open house night, when we have literacy night. Anytime we have an opportunity to bring our parents on campus, we make sure to show them that they're valued and that their input means a lot to us. And so when we do those types of things, the parents feel comfortable. They call me, they will email, call, text some of the faculty members because they know that we will directly be able to support them in that moment, and they feel comfortable and confident in my staff. And so that, I think, makes the biggest difference in the world with how we're able to keep our students coming to school happy, excited, and motivated to learn.
So then it sounds like when they call you or text you or what have you, you respond to them.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Gode.
Thank you. I couldn't let this go by without saying something. Ms. Johnson has the great misfortune of running a school that happens to be right around the corner from where I live. And I walk my dog with my wife by there just about every day. And she's used to me just popping in and saying hi and looking at it. But I also get to watch kids coming in and out from bus duty and talk to your assistant principals and all these sorts of things as they're out putting kids on buses. And I just have to say that the spirit at that school is outstanding. And I think that's what goes to it. You know, I was out there for first day of school, went out there and they had, when we talk about ESS, it's not only the children, but I'm not ESS, ELL, I'm sorry. Get my letters mixed up here. But on the ELL side, you'd be amazed at how many of the parents of the ELL students don't speak English. And they go out of their way to have interpreters and things like that there for them. And I think that's part of how you get the family involvement coming in, is working with all those things. And Superintendent, I got to say, when you talk about, I got your hook on me on the thing, but as you talk about growth, the one thing I have to give credit to Ms. Johnson for, the first time I met her, right when she was first becoming principal at Highland Elementary, you were scared as a rabbit. And I have just seen your growth and your leadership growth and the growth of your team and all of the people over there. And it is just astounding what you've been able to do. And not only, I know you're not doing it alone, you're doing it with your whole team. That's why I brought you a big cake with a B on it when you got the B. But I just want to applaud you and your whole staff for what you're doing. It is outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gode. Mr. Lannis.
Thank you, Madam President. First, I'll just say, wow. The data that was displayed on that screen tonight shows the tremendous amount of effort that you and your team are putting into those students and also inside of that community. The second thing I would say is, and I would be remiss if I did not say this, is that you have literally given a presentation as to why anyone would want to disrupt that fabric of work happening inside of our community and try to break away and disrupt those students that are learning inside of that area or any other area inside of our community. I want to just say thank you. If your team is watching, thank you. You are a shining example of why our school system needs to remain firmly together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis.
Thank you again, Ms. Johnson, so much for your work. We sincerely appreciate you. And Madam President, this concludes my report.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you all.
Next, we move along to item E, reports from board appointees to committees or agencies. Are there any reports that any board members would like to report back to us? Nope. Okay. So moving along to F, unfinished business. Tax Plan Proposition 1 Budget Supplement. Consideration of a request for the approval of Tax Plan Proposition 1 Budget Supplement request to allow for additional funding in the amount of $16,750,000 to supplement upcoming projects at McKinley High School and New Elementary School in the southern part of the parish. Ms. Anderson, Mr. Noel, Mr. Crochet. And I just want to make reference to this particular item that specifies that the new elementary school in the southern part of our parish. That's in East Baton Rouge district school lines. So just want to make clarity and let everybody know that that elementary school is in our district. So do I have a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Lannis, and then I have a second by Mr. Martin. I don't have any cards, but I do have online comments. I didn't have anything. I had no cards. Did anybody want to speak on this item? Because I don't have any cards. I just want to, okay. Okay, so online comments. Do we have any online comments for this item? Okay.
We have a comment from Ms. Anita Lopez. It seems unwise to wrap McKinley High project up in this proposed park school in South Baton Rouge, as we don't know what will happen with the vote in May. Is there a way to separate these two issues? Maybe approve the cost rise for McKinley High only because this program has been neglected for so many years. Even if it's disappointing, the contractor did not anticipate changes to labor or construction cost. Perhaps it's time to talk about hiring another contractor in this district struggling with enrollment so we can move a little faster. Especially now there are more swing spaces. EBR should prioritize programs with real students over the unnamed elementary school and the unnamed high school. Wham and Glasgow should be swapped out as priorities, just as McKinley High was put to the top of the list for various reasons. And that's Mrs. Anita Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lannis.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be real quick, and I just want to say we love media, but man, y'all have been getting us raked across the coals because of the information that's been going out pertaining to a lot of the projects that we're going to be working on. There's another item on here tonight. I won't get into that one, but on this particular item, I want to say thank you, Madam President, for clarifying that this school does not fall within St. George lines. However, that has not been the headline that has been circulating across our community. The headline has been that we are voting on an item to put a school within St. George's boundaries. And that's just a gross misunderstanding, and it's just grossly misinformation that we now have to try to clarify, because we are now getting calls and emails and messages saying that we're doing something that we're not doing. So I'll only say to media, we love you, but make sure you do your research on the back end so that we don't have to clarify this stuff on the front end, so we don't have to clarify this stuff on the back end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis. Mr. Paul Lewis.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, I heard Mr. Gode mention about, was there a presentation or something?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay. So that I just wanted to clarify if there is indeed a presentation.
You want to hear it?
Yes.
Got to.
Yeah.
So much.
What's up to you?
I'll wait until after. Okay.
Judith, Mr. Crochet, y'all come on, let's do the presentation so we can share
Thank you.
the information. Judith, you running lead on the presentation? Well, take charge. Come on, take charge and get it together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, board.
Speaking to the mic, please. Speaking to the mic, please.
Sorry. Can you all hear me? Good evening, board. As board president said, today we come to you requesting a budget increase for projects, the new elementary school in the southern part of the parish, which is in East Baton Rouge, not St. George, as well as McKinley High School. These items are together just by chance in that their timelines coincide, but they are two separate endeavors. And so the request is for $16,750,000. I did not say that right. And so this comes in that
We reviewed this with the Oversight Committee, and their request was that whenever we come into a need for, whether it be any modification to the tax plan, that we do it on a case-by-case basis. And so it just so happens that the timelines for these come together. Here you'll see a project status, just of the overall tax plan. Where we are now, underway is McKinley High School renovation, the new elementary school in the southern part of the parish. Both of those design has been completed, and we now have our bid price, and so therefore that is because of the request of the increase. Also underway, we have the sports complex for the Broadmoor Middle site. That is in design, and then we are kicking off design for Villa Del Rey, which will be a small renovation. Coming up, that has not kicked off officially, is Mayfair Lab, the Westdale Heights School, Glasgow Middle, as those are all school replacements. We have Broadmoor High, which is a major renovation to come, and some smaller renovations for Sherwood Middle, Scotlandville, and Tara High Schools. Here we just have just some historical data on cost. Between years 2017 and 2019, we averaged somewhere around $220 a square foot. From 2022 to about 2023, we saw a rise where we got up to about $370 a square foot. And so currently we are trending somewhere, I would say, average around $400 to $450 a square foot. And for the new elementary, a tad higher than that, and that is just due to some site conditions. But we showed this just to show from the inception or the renewal of the tax plan in 2019 to where we are now, and just in historical cost data.
So what we're seeing with phase 4 of the tax plan, if you go back to fiscal year 2021 compared to fiscal year 21-22, we've seen approximately 17.3% increase in sales tax revenues. We went from 45.8 million to approximately 53.8 million. And since then, we've seen a steady increase in sales taxes. And our projections show if it holds that we'll see almost a 14% increase from the inception of the tax plan, where we projected about 477 million to up to 545 million. Current year to date, we can go to the next slide. Current year to date collections so far, we're up to about 30 million, and then we're also another 2.9 million in interest that we've been able to earn. And so for a total of interest from the inception of the tax plan has given us an extra approximately $18 million. So, so the sales tax revenues currently are in a position to fund any of these project-by-project increases that Judy mentioned as the tax plan stands now. Now, as far as any unforeseen events, we'll have to monitor that as we go forward to the end of the tax plan.
Here you see a summarization of the two projects. And so we tried to break it down as best as we could as where the cost comes from. Our current budget for the new elementary school is $29,500,000. So in some projects, we'll go through a scope change. There was no scope change with this. There was some unforeseens, though, that we came across, and that basically was soil conditions. And so I'll just coin it as site. We had lots of challenges with regard to the site. And so that is basically what encompasses a good bit of the increase for this school. And so that additional funding would be $9,750,000 for a new project budget of $39,250,000. For McKinley Senior High, the same. It was a major renovation, and so with that, you're going to find some unforeseens. The one good thing about this, the way we structured it using CMAR, is we did investigation work for the renovation during design, and so that allowed us to see some of the unforeseens that probably would not have been uncovered until the contractor got out there on site. And so with that, With those unforeseens, all of these prices also include just general inflation. Construction costs now just are not what they were when we kicked this off back in 2018. So I do want to make sure I address that too, and that is not just unforeseens. That encompasses inflation and market conditions as well. But the increase for unforeseens for McKinley High would be $6,136,499. And so we kind of rounded that additional funding to be $7 million for a project budget of $42 million. Let's see if there's anything. I'll kind of go back just to both of these. Where we are right now is we're ready to kick those projects off in construction. And so the request for the increase of these, should we not get those increases, it would change our schedule. We're slated to open both of these facilities for the start of the school year in August of 2027. So kicking off is of the essence.
We understand, yeah. We
Important.
understand.
Just want to make sure I'm covering all. And then the other thing I think is important is, on average, nationally and even regionally, increases with regard to market increases and all have been 40% and higher. I will say that the district overall has done pretty well in that we're only around 20% increases with regard to inflation and all those factors. So we're doing well, and I think that just shows that the designers and contractors are really working to give the most efficient and sustainable designs, but being very cost conscious with those designs. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Edith.
Oh, he was in the queue.
Oh, I was in the queue, okay. Thank you, Judith. I don't know why I wanted to call you Edith. You know, there's been some talk already about St. George. If the St. George School District is approved in May, which fiscal year would we begin to see a reduction in sales tax?
We would see that reduction in starting in fiscal year 27-28.
Okay. And we have schools that are scheduled to be open around the same time, don't we? Yeah, McKinley. Okay. Another question. And I had to go back and look at the tape. Mr. Gode asked a great question the last time. And can I quote you, Mr. Gode, the question? Mr. Gode said, what is the estimated percentage loss in sales taxes revenue if St. George is approved? We just asked that. And what would that percentage represent in total dollar amounts for all three propositions? Isn't that the way you phrased, Mr. Gode?
We would be looking at approximately a 25% reduction. So impact in Prop 1, 2, and 3. Over the remainder of the tax plan, we're looking at approximately $30 million for Prop 1, $4.7 million Prop 2, and $23 million for Prop 3.
Okay. If revenues decline, would we need to modify or eliminate phase 4 of the prop?
With the forecast that we currently show, we would be in line to complete phase 4, along with the potential increases of the remaining projects that would need increases. However, if...
Okay, Proposition 2, disciplinary and alternative schools.
Proposition 2 funds approximately, let's see,
I mean, in phase 4.
234 positions.
Okay, in phase 4, there's monies in Proposition 2 for disciplinary and alternative schools, correct?
Correct, and it funds currently about 234 positions.
And Proposition 3, which is an employment supplement.
Correct, it's the supplement to supplement salaries.
So, I hate to use this as an ugly word, but this could all lead to a RIF. Correct?
I mean, I'm not in a position to answer that. That would have to come from
But
somebody
you're the
else.
numbers guy. You know, 25%. I mean, that, yeah. use the numbers got on the tax plan, I'm sorry. If revenues decrease, would future projects require adjustments to quality, total square footage, or programmatic features? I think I know the answer to this one, I just want to hear it.
Sounding like a lawyer up here.
No, please don't put me in that boat.
I mean, we would look at it case by case basis, but could that potentially happen? Yes. We would just have to look at the programs for each space and on a case by case basis to make the determinations.
Okay, so let me pivot back up to McKinley. If this is not approved, then, you know, McKinley could be in jeopardy of not, well, no, they couldn't open on time, but would they have to cut back on some of their programmatic?
I mean, there is the potential for that. So I will say too, pushing it back, you're going to spend more. We're not going to be able to require that the contractors hold that price.
Right.
And so when you put it back out for bid, that opens the door for a higher bid. You may lose the pool of some of your subcontractors. So it may not be as competitive. It's lots of factors that basically equal to you will pay more should it be pushed.
I know a couple, probably 3-4 weeks ago, I had an opportunity to sit in with you guys at McKinley and look at it. It's going to be a fantastic building. Everything that they're doing over there fits like all the pieces in the puzzle, and I would hate to see that not come to fruition.
Can I get a point of information, Coach? Because you just brought up something I didn't think about. Quick question, point of information. Understanding that cost for materials is continuously going up year by year based off of what you all just presented to us. If, in fact, the case happens where St. George is approved, if there is a situation where we're building a school and we have to supplement, will there be funding remaining for us to supplement a school? Let's just say it goes outside the scope of what it was originally expended to cost to build that school.
If I understand your question, we have a built-in contingency with every project budget. So within this increase, should something else happen unforeseen, there is a contingency for whatever may happen. So whether that's material increases, which we try to tote that very carefully just because the contractor has given us a price for those materials. And so we tote that line pretty carefully in monitoring any increases for something like that. But if there are some unforeseens, there is a budget line item within the project already accounted for that would.
Are contingencies on a school-by-school basis?
Yes.
Okay.
So every project budget will have a contingency.
And if I can come back, maybe Miss Lopez could maybe speak a little bit more to these questions. You think so? My time? Oh, I'm running out of, Kelly, I'm out of time. Come on up, I'm sorry.
But I was just saying, you know, just letting you know.
Come on.
I'll be brief.
We'll start seeing reduction. First question.
27, 28.
Okay. You have any idea what the percentage would represent in total dollar amounts across the three propositions? Mr. Goday's question about a month ago?
Mr. Noel is absolutely correct. It's about 25%, and you're going to look at that same cut across the general fund as well. Now, depending on how much you take in, property taxes, sales taxes, we all have different percentages. It's going to change the dollar amount, but 25% is about on the money of what's going to go.
Reductions to Prop 2 and Prop 3.
And Prop 1.
And Prop 1. I mean, I'm really concerned about Prop 2. Prop 2 is,
Well, and it's tiny anyway.
yeah. But, and I've said this before, I think we need to put more funds into Prop 2 than we do.
So, and I will defer this to legal counsel. That's right, I'm gonna get you in trouble. In order to do that, it would no longer be a renewal of the tax plan, it would be a new tax, because you shift the percentages.
Okay.
I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm saying it complicates things.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm good. If revenues decrease, last question, if revenues decrease, would future products require adjustments to quality, total square footage, and programmatic features? Well, you've already answered. I was trying to get Ms. Lopez to answer that.
Well, again,
Judith
Judith
already
is going to
answered.
know more than I will, but yes, they're going to have to be built with the money they have. And if they want more stuff or it gets more expensive, then decisions have to be made by superintendent and board. I mean, the money is the money, and that's it.
Okay. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Martin.
I just want to make the point that the projects that we're funding here were not something that we decided, right? These are funds, these are projects that the voters decided on as a whole based on recommendations made by by our predecessors on this board. And so I think that, we really don't have the discretion to say, no, we're going to ignore the will of the voters. We have to build the projects that are in there, given the situation as it exists right now, not what may or may not happen. And as everybody has properly pointed out, this particular item that we're voting on right now has nothing to do really with St. George, other than certainly the fiscal impact that may or may not happen depending on what the voters decide in a couple of months. So what I do know from construction is the longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. So that's why I support this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Ms. Paul Lewis.
Thank you. I'm not sure if my question is for Judith or for Ms. Lopez. I'm not sure, but could we go back to the slide that shows the timeline for all of the projects? So I guess that means it is for you, Judith. Sorry. Okay. So just want to state this, or want the question to be answered in layman's terms for those who might be listening from home or may have misunderstood the jargon that was just given. What was mentioned was that there is a contingency plan for when projects go beyond what was the original price. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then the contingency plan for McKinley we've already exceeded that?
Okay, so I'll within every project, we're going to have a contingency for any unforeseens that may happen through construction, as much as we can within our control. So we still have what I call a safety net. To protect that safety net, we're going outside to the overall tax plan contingency to supplement the budget increase that we're requesting. So there still will be a line item for with contingency funds within McKinley to address any additional unforeseens that may happen.
Okay, thank you. So then the next question that I have is, looking at this timeline, this project status timeline that's listed on the screen, if we afford this to McKinley, will we be able to offer this same type of increase to the other schools that are coming down the pipeline of needing or of possibly needing an increase in their funding?
I think it'll probably be a tag team with that. I think it'll be a case-by-case basis, as it's a pay-as-you-go plan, and we'll address it as we go. But through looking at the programmatic needs of every project, that will help. We'll plan as best we can within the established budgets. But could it be that we will need an increase? Yes, and I think that's where I tag Greg in to speak to that surplus.
Point of information, I'm sorry. And I'm only addressing this question because this is a great point. This is why I asked the point of information originally, because the reason why you're bringing this to us tonight is because the costs have increased, so it's caused you to go outside of the scope that you had originally expended for, correct? Mm-hmm. Right, so that's the reason why I was asking the question earlier, is if there were a breakaway that were to occur, and we're already, even though you already have created this safety net, will there be enough money remaining if we had to do this for every single project in the tax plan? Because it sounds like we're gonna run well drive there. Because I would imagine, let me ask this question: how much money is inside of the contingency for the entire tax plan?
Point of order. That's not a point of order. We need to.
That's a point of information, and you got to honor it. They go to the book. It's a point of information. It's a point of information.
Can I jump in with a point of information?
That's okay. Thank you. You answered my question. That's fine. I'll end it there.
Just as long as I keep all my time, Madam President. No, you didn't.
But for the record, point of information is a reputable interruption that has to be, and I don't need an acceptance to say yes or no for the answer, because I'm asking this because I'm confused by what has been said. So
Yes.
if I got nothing to do with you, Judith, I just want to say it for the public.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis. Also, I'm going to ask too, Judith, while you get ready to answer, Ms. Lopez, I'm going to ask you a question about what you suggested about a new tax, but go ahead. Okay, yes, that's right. I'm sorry. He was the one that was answering. Either one is fine.
So as I understand it from legal counsel, if you change the percentages, because as you know, it's a 1 penny sales tax and it's broken into percentages. If you change the percentages, it's no longer a renewal because you've changed it. It's a new tax. So
Okay.
it's simply wording.
So if we get to that place of needing additional funds beyond contingencies, we may have to.
No, you can't do that. This tax plan is set. This would be for the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you decide you want more money in alternative schools, that would have to be a choice you'd have to make in the next sales tax for the next 10 years. This one is set. There's nothing you can do. It is what it is.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And so I guess I still go back to the same question, just wanted to make sure we have a clear answer for folks who might be asking and might be thinking about this at home. And I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. If I look at the schools that are in my district and the questions that are already coming to me, Scotlandville is far down on this plan. I just need to make sure that we're gonna make sure that we have the funds, or that we will have the funds if needed, if you get to that plan or that part of the plan and there's additional money that's needed.
And I think this is where I tag Greg, but we're looking, so to date, the surplus of contingency within the overall tax plan, there's a $30 million surplus to date.
Okay.
And that would be after this request.
All right.
Yeah, the forecast shows that we're in a position to finish the tax plan with any potential increases.
Thank you.
Now-
That's the answer I needed to hear. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Gode.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Mr. Lannis. I had some questions I wanted to get answered to. I just want to try to give some clarity to some of this, because I think there is some misunderstandings kind of floating around on some of this stuff. So what right now is the current balance of money that we have in the Prop 1 account right now? How much money is sitting in that account right now?
I don't have that off the top of my head. I'll have
Mr. Crochet, do you know? It's something like $100 million or more?
Yes, if you look at our audited financial statements, it's approximately $163 million. That's through June 30th, 2025.
So the point I'm trying to make to everybody is everyone's worried about, do we have enough money to finish this? We got $160 million already in the bank to finish these projects. Plus, we got more sales tax collections coming between now and this. The timeline on this goes through 2027, is it? 2028. So the St. George wouldn't impact anything until July 1, 2027. So we still have a year and a half more collections coming in. So I guess I just don't see, and I'm not taking any sides on any way of going other, but the fear of not having enough money to finish the program that is in this, to me, is unfounded, because we have a huge budget surplus, not surplus, we have a huge bank account of $160 million, which basically covers all the 3 new schools that we're building plus more. And we got more tax revenue coming in to that. So being able to complete the tax plan, I think, is pretty certain as it can be. Now, to talk about cost, people are concerned about the cost going up. I heard some of the public comments about why is the cost going up. Costs are going up the same reason why our revenues are going up. It's inflation. So some of this is an automatic counterbalancing. Our costs go up, but because it's a sales tax, the sales tax revenue goes up because inflation is putting everything up, so we're getting more dollars being spent, so we collect more sales tax. So it's kind of a balancing, automatic balancing of the two. And all we're doing right now is balancing the construction costs that has gone up, balancing it with this extra sales tax revenues that we've collected because everybody's costs have gone up. So I don't view any of this as being any dire situation of coming up to all of this. And the last thing I want to do is go over a little bit. I heard the term, the initials RIF come up. Okay, yes, it is going to be a big impact. I don't know exactly what the impact's going to be. Yes, we will lose perhaps about 25% of our revenue. But recognize we're going to lose a lot of employees going to that new district. We're going to lose schools going to that new district. So you can't look at say, oh, it's a 25% issue. It's an issue of the 25% we lose in revenues versus what percent of cost are we going to lose. And it's a much smaller number than that. And again, I'm not taking sides for or against St. George or anything. I'm just I don't want people, particularly our employees, to get panicked on any of this, because these things are workable. And I'm gonna be quite honest, I'm not for St. George breaking away. I think it would be a bad idea for them to do that. But I also don't want to put fear in all of our employees and in our parents that it's a huge catastrophe if that happens. Is it good? I don't think it's good for the kids. I don't think it's good for our employees, but it won't sink us financially as a district. It really won't. And so as we talk through these numbers, I really think we're on solid ground for completing the tax plan as projects as we have it. I don't think there's any way I can see in my mind that, unless there are just some minor issues that might happen, but it's not a big issue that's going to happen, particularly since the impact on our revenue and the sales tax is only going to be for a very small portion of a year that's coming into this thing. Secondly, I don't want anyone to start talking about RIFs or anything like that yet. I think that's way premature in that. And then thirdly, I just encourage all of you parents and all of you students and everything out there, we do better as one school district together, and I just hope we can keep that. Thank you.
Well, Mike, I wasn't trying to stoke fear in anybody. That's just down the road.
I don't agree with you, totally.
I mean, down the road.
I don't agree.
You know?
Because we're going to be losing cost at the same time as we're losing revenue. All those employees that go with the new school district, we don't have to pay those salaries. Mm-hmm. We don't have to fund those schools and all the things on those schools. I don't see that. I think it will impact us some because we have overhead and things. So is it an impact? Yeah, but it's probably a 5% impact, not a 25% impact.
Well, the thing about it is just go out and vote.
Yes.
That solves all the problems.
I agree 100%, but we talked about the headlines being out there not correct. And I don't want the headlines to go out there incorrect, because then we're going to be accused of trying to muddy the waters and do all these sorts of things. I want correct information going out there. And the correct information, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, is the tax plan's not in jeopardy. And yeah, there's going to be some fiscal impact if it happens, and we're going to have to handle it. But it's not going to be 25%. It's going to be a much smaller number than that. And so people have to make their choices and make their decisions. I'm just trying to give them what I believe is the true information to make that decision on. And I've clearly said where my decision is, but I think people need to have the right information to make that decision.
Thank you, Mr. Gaudet. Mr. Ballou.
I just want to, just for clarification regarding the revenue for this tax plan, the taxing district, the boundaries, that's just for taxes collected within the boundaries of our school system, or is that in the entire parish?
The school system.
Okay, so, and it was voted on by people that were in the boundaries of our school system as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, hypothetically, if St. George creates a school district, is it a given that impacts the collection of the revenue for this this plan?
Yes.
So what, okay, but, well, that's what I wanted to make sure I was clear on. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baloo. Do I have a motion? You did? And who was it? Darius and, I don't remember. Okay, so Mr. Landis and then Mr. Martin. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those in opposition say nay. Madam Secretary, can you call for the vote?
Please vote. Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving along to item G, Ms. Paul Lewis, you can have the floor.
Consent agenda. I did. The following items are to be approved as part of the consent agenda and are considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as an item on the regular agenda for a separate vote preceding the last item on the regular agenda. Item G1, Professional Services Agreement Renewal, City of Baton Rouge, Adult Education, EBR Prison. Consideration of a request for the approval to renew a contract between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and the City of Baton Rouge in the amount of $134,110 to be paid to EBR PSS to allow the EBR PSS Department of Adult and Continuing Education to continue providing adult education classes and high-set testing for inmates at the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Item G2, Professional Services Contract, Campus Safety Products. Consideration of a request for the approval of a professional services contract between the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board and Campus Safety Products in the amount of $249,000 with an additional amount of $210,720 to be paid by the Baton Rouge Area Foundation to provide a fully code-compliant, shelter-in-place, rapid lockdown solution to 5 high schools. Funding source, Title IV and Baton Rouge Area Foundation. Item G3, Indefinite Delivery Selection. Consideration of a request for the approval of the 2026 Selection Committee's recommendation of architectural, civil, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, geotechnical, and environmental services for the tax plan and district projects. G4, RFQ, New High School in the southern part of the parish. Consideration of a request to authorize the superintendent and staff to A, issue a request for qualifications, RFQ, for architectural design consulting for the new high school in the southern part of the parish. B, upon completion of the RFQ process, to authorize the superintendent and selection committee to select an architectural design consulting firm. Funding source, tax plan, Proposition 1. G5, Policy BBGA, Legislative Activity. Consideration of a request for the approval of Policy BBGA, Legislative Activity. G6, Litigation. Consideration of a request for the approval of the recommendation from Gwen Shamlin, General Counsel, EBR PSB, which is East Baton Rouge Parish School Board, in the matter of Ariana Bell et al. Versus East Baton Rouge Parish School Board et al., document number 743967, section 33, 19th Judicial District for East Baton Rouge Parish and related matters. G7, Litigation. Consideration of a request for the approval of the recommendation from Gwen Shamlin, General Counsel, EBR PSB, which is East Baton Rouge Parish School Board, in the matter of Ryan and Catherine Hart on behalf of minor child, document number 2024-5001 DOE, IDEA, and related matters. And this concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Paula Lewis. Board members, are there any items that any of you would like pulled from the consent agenda?
I'd
Mr.
like to
Gaudet?
pull item number 5.
Item number 5 is pulled. Any other items, anybody?
Item 4.
Okay. Item 4 and 5. Are there any public comments on the consent agenda? Are there any cards? April, do you have any cards? Okay. Online?
I don't see any online comments.
Okay.
Wait, no, yes, here we
Yeah.
go, we do have one.
Okay.
This is from Robert Attenberry. Please pause, allocate more funds to construction companies while tariffs and immigration rates will increase construction costs. This is on this is number 4, D4. Please pause allocating more funds to construction companies while tariffs and immigration rates will increase construction costs. These should be anticipated and addressed proactively. Explore alternatives. Thank you. Emily Landry, the lack of updates on the tax plan is disheartening, often impacted communities are left uninformed, and stakeholders' participation is aggressively discouraged. What happened to the other projects that are on hold for the other site? That was from Emily Landry. Transparency and full allocation is lacking when the rest of the time the communities are involved. The tax plan receives an update, whether it's tax plan funds or large grants. The disparity into that despair into EBR School Employment Agency. Transparency is lacking. We patronize for needing education. We prioritize for needing education on these matters, yet no one visits the communities for genuine stakeholder engagement. Yvonne Johnson, it's hard to see this additional spending when our crowded schools don't have dedicated resources, teachers, and full-time single sites for school nurses. What? No, we're on item 4, right?
No, but that's from last week.
Oh, that's from the last meeting that I missed. Oh, okay. I missed that meeting. Right here.
This right here. That one. Yeah, now go down. Go down. Go down. Go down. Go down. Read that one. Go down. Go down. And skip G4.
Okay, because it's been
Then
pulled.
7.
Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Professional service contract, campus security. Vote no to wasteful spending. None of this is proven to prevent school shootings. It's just part of the industry that profits off fear. What about the psychological cost of seeing something like this? What about the psychological cost of seeing something like this is attached to your classroom door and knowing what it's supposed to protect? What are we doing to prevent school shootings? What are we doing to massively improve school climate in schools? Everybody wants a buck from this district and the friends and the family job factories in family job factory in central office to construction and consulting dollars. Who is looking out for all the kids? We already have our kids wear clear backpacks, go through metal detectors, and other superficial things that make adults feel good. But don't help kids, please. But feel good, but don't help kids. Please vote no, and instead fund so very single schools can at least have at least one full-time school nurse who only serves one school and 2 full-time social workers for every school. It's time to put our kids over contracts. I'll skip down and read 7. Litigation. Marina LeBlanc, we hope you settle. We don't talk about ESS enough. Too often, exceptional student services takes advantage. The fact that most aren't going to take it to this level, and they willfully deprive students of their basic civil rights and rights to free and fair education. It isn't fair that the IDEA was never fully funded. The lack of follow-through from the federal and state government doesn't justify the aggression in which real adults treat students and families of disabled students. It's time for a positive change. In the same season, many of us look at the words of Jesus, who says, when you give a feast, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you. For you will be repaid at resurrection. Jesus employs us to serve the disabled. Who is willing to take leadership and restore the humanity to exceptional student services and shift the culture toward serving? Who will answer the call?
Thank you, Coach. So that concludes our public and online comments. We have board comments. Mr. Landis. Oh, that's all? Okay. Okay. So all those in favor of the motion that's on the floor say aye.
Aye.
All those in opposition say nay. Madam Secretary.
Is there a motion on the floor?
Yeah, that for the consent agenda.
Okay.
Approve the consent agenda. The motion was to approve.
Excuse me, Madam President, there's no
Oh, I
motion
thought
on
it
the
was
floor.
Darius.
No, that was on the last item.
All right.
Yeah.
So motion, Darius got the consent agenda.
Second.
And Carla on the second. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those in opposition? Madam Secretary, can you call for the vote?
Please vote. The motion carries.
Okay, moving to the separate items that were pulled for the RFQ, new high school in the southern part of the parish. Consideration of a request to authorize the superintendent and staff to A, issue a request for qualifications for architectural design consulting for the new high school in the southern part of the parish. B, upon completion of the RFQ process, to authorize the superintendent and selection committee to select an architectural design consulting firm. Funding source, tax plan proposition 1, Ms. Anderson, Mr. Gilbert. Before we have any comments or before this item extends any further, I just want to make a point of information to advise that this particular item was a part of the previous tax plan. And what we're voting on and what this item speaks about is the architectural design. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands this is for the architectural design for the school that was approved from the last board. So with that being said, do I have any public comments for item 4? Okay, but I do have an online comment. Coach, you want to read that comment?
Mr. Webb, I'm going to text you something personal. Please look at your text.
Okay. Who will fill this high school staff with students especially?
Mike.
Okay, there we go. New high school in the south of the parish. Jessica Broussard. Who will fill this high school? Staff and students especially. Where will they come from? Is there some secret stash of students that are hiding out from us or a source of highly qualified teachers? If they build it, they will come If they build it, they will come seems risky and dated. Furthermore, what happens to the rest of the schools on the tax plan? What about Wham, Glasgow, schools that are actually serving students, and there seems to be more swing spaces than they were a year ago? Are these communities expected to sit in silence, obediently, and just wait? Historically, EBR schools does not include more than superficial stakeholder feedback during design, leading to design and unusable and unsolvable issues. Please ensure the chosen firm seeks real stakeholder feedback, even if the students and staff population is unclear. It's also very hard not to talk about these in the context of St. George vote coming up in May. Maybe all this should be postponed instead of turning into political whatever. Ms. Candace Black. Building a new school in the part of the city isn't a wise choice at this moment. With the possibilities of St. George becoming their own district, it would be a waste of money if there's not a need for the real middle school there, for a real middle school in North Baton Rouge. Didn't we just close schools? Can't we use the money on additional Montessori schools? Let's be wise. Put this off until after the St. George vote. Then Ms. Tabby writes, please vote no. We have already lived through a very similar situation in this parish when the central school system separated from East Baton Rouge Parish School System in 2007. At this time, tax revenues have been collected parish-wide for school improvements and construction, including a planned middle school in Central. When Central broke away, there was a dispute over funds that had already been allocated for a project in that area. Litigation followed, and eventually a settlement was reached that included a cash payment and property transfer. The lessons from that experience is not about taking sides, it's about process, transparency, and fairness to taxpayers and students on both sides of the potential split. We should not repeat confusion and conflict. Instead, we should proactively establish clear guidelines for the assets, obligations, and planned projects that will be handled in this new system, if this new system is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Lannis, that's you in the queue for real this time? Okay, go ahead.
All right, I try to be as brief as possible, Madam President. This is twofold. One, I thank you for the clarification. This is not, the item tonight is not to vote on a new school. It is only for the architectural design. And whether or not we did this tonight or we did it later, we got to do this process anyway. This is only to build out the renderings for the school, not to vote on the school. Now, for part two, and as I go into part two, I'm going to reference something that a good friend always says. In God we trust, everybody else bring data. Now, everybody tonight has talked about St. George, and because we're going to have a conversation, we're going to have a conversation. Everybody continues to say that people within St. George voted on something and they gave their piece. No. What people across this parish voted on was a school being built in the southern parish of our community. They did not vote for a school to be built in St. George. If you look at what that item says, this came directly from the tax plan, and this is exactly how it read when people voted on it. In no way, shape, or form did it say anything or any mention of St. George, because the idea or the conception of St. George did not exist when this came out in 2018. The city was not formed, and the school district did not come before the state legislature to come before the voters across our parish nor our state to vote on it. Now, we're going to talk about money, because we keep talking about the how it's going to affect the three phases of our community. It goes larger than just the three phases. That's just $60 million out of the three phases. We're not talking about the money that's going to be included in the buildings that we're going to lose. And each building, by the way, is a multi-million-dollar project. We're not talking about the MFP dollars that we're going to lose per student if they leave. And if we're talking about students with exceptionalities, that cost goes higher than an average student that it costs our district to teach that kid. Now, I'm not even going to call you up here, Ms. Lopez, because I'm not a mathematician, but I'm smart enough to know that that's over $100 million in assets that we're going to lose from East Baton Rouge Parish school system under that 25%. Now, some will say, yes, we will survive. But I would say, what is it like to survive if you're on life support? This is the reason why you hear so many people here tonight saying no, they don't want St. George to happen, because together we are a better school district. I think it has already been said time and time again that we have made tremendous strides. We just saw one of our schools at Holland Elementary come up here and everybody clapped them, glorified them, and guess what? They're doing a phenomenal job. So why would we disrupt the good work that's happening across our school district? And with that, Madam President, I yield.
Thank you, Mr. Lannis. Ms. Paul Lewis.
Thank you. I'm not sure if my question is completely germane to the topic, but I just wanted to mention, and Ms. Lopez, I know that Mr. Lannis said that he's not going to call you up. I'm not going to call you up either, but this is what I would like to know, the history behind the data that shows how we were impacted when Central pulled out, when Baker pulled out, and when Zachary pulled out. And so maybe we can talk about that later, but I wanted to make sure I asked the question. And so that way, if anyone wants to know, once Ms. Lopez gives me the data, I'll be glad to share it with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Paul Lewis. Mr. Gode.
Yes, and thank you, Ms. Powell Lewis, for that question. I think one of the key issues in that question was there was a tax plan in existence at the time when Central pulled out. And in that tax plan was a new school building in Central. Now, when Central pulled out, the tax district is defined as the East Baton Rouge Parish school system. So when Central pulled out, that new proposed school was no longer in the East Baton Rouge Parish school system. So that went to litigation, and the judges and everything determined that we were under no obligation to build that school in Central because they were no longer part of the district. That has been litigated, appealed, and upheld, from what I understand. So if St. George does break away, we would be under no obligation to build the high school, okay? And so just want to be clear on that. Now, Ms. Anderson, if I'm understanding this right, this proposal is only to advertise for bids for architects. Correct. How long does it take us to select, how long does it take for bids to come in? How long does it take for bids to come in?
So I did not bring the schedule. I don't know why. I apologize.
But it's at least 30 days or?
Yes, your bidding process is at least 45 days. Design, we're going to have at least.
Not design, I'm just talking about the bid, okay?
At least 45 days.
So right now, there would be, we would barely be selecting the architect and going into that before the election came up. So basically, we're spending almost very little money between now and when the election is going to happen in May.
Correct.
The money being spent is minuscule.
Correct.
Okay, so just want to make sure all of that's in context, that we're not being crazy by going ahead with this, because I have faith, I may be misplaced, but I have faith that the people of this parish are going to recognize that we're better together. I understand, but it's got to pass both. It's got to pass both. And so I think it would be unwise for us to not pass this and keep this going, because A, it would show that we don't believe that we can, that we have confidence that we might stay together as a district. I think we ought to pass this to show our faith in that we go march forth the way it is and try to get this done. The amount of money we're risking is minimal, almost zero. Because after the election in May, if the split should occur, the district won't actually happen until in 2027, but we would have the ability at that point to suspend the project. because we couldn't go ahead and build the project after July 1. We can't spend money after July 1, 2027 by law. We can't spend money on that high school. And so, you know, there are a lot of things in here and a lot of misconceptions. Voting for this is not, as my colleague Mr. Lannis said, voting for this is not voting to build a high school. It's voting to take one step down that path, and it's a very minimal cost step. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gode. Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I agree with the points Mr. Gode made, and I move approval of the item.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. We have that motion, and Mr. Gode have a second. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those in opposition say nay. Madam Secretary, call for the vote.
Please vote. Can we do a roll call? I can't see Mr. Lannis's vote.
Yeah, do a roll call.
Mr. Blue?
Yes.
Mr. Lannis?
I want to say for the record, I voted for it just to go through, yes.
Ms. Powell Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart?
Yes. Wait.
Ms. Powell Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Stewart?
Yay.
Mr. Lewis?
Yay. Thought we were going in order around the.
Mr. Russ?
Yay.
Mr. Gode?
In district order, yay.
Ms. Sule?
Yay.
Mr. Martin?
Yeah.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now moving to the other item, which is item 5, policy BBGA legislative activity, consideration of a request of the approval of policy BBGA legislative activity. Mr. Russ. And so do I have any public comments? Did I have any online? Okay. Okay, hold on, I'm sorry. Mr. Gode.
I would like to move that we accept the policy as amended in the board docs.
I have a motion to approve the policy that's in board docs, and I have a second by Mr. Lannis. All those in favor say,
Public comment.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't see any in here, so that's why I was wondering, and we don't have any cards. Are there any public comments? Because I don't have any cards. And there are no online comments. Mr. Gode.
Yes, I just want to make sure that the amended version was available to the public and that the public would have a chance to comment. And with that, I'll be quiet.
Okay. Thank you. And so I do have a motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All those in opposition say nay. Madam Secretary, can you call for the vote?
Please vote. Motion carries.
Thank you. Moving along to item H, new business. Number 1, student expulsion, discussion, consideration of a request to appeal a student expulsion. There's a possibility there will be an executive session under the provisions of LRS 42.6.1A7 to conduct an appeal hearing for a student expulsion. The hearing may be open or closed at the option of the parent or guardian. Board members, have you had an opportunity to review the case? Do I have a motion to hear the matter at our next regular meeting? Moving along, item 2, student expulsion, discussion, consideration of a request to appeal a student expulsion. Mr. Shamlin, there's a possibility that there will be an executive session under the provisions of LRS 42.6.1A7 to conduct an appeal hearing for its student expulsion. The hearing may be open or closed at the option of the parent or guardian. Board members, have you had an opportunity to review the case? Do I have a motion to hear the matter at the next regular board meeting? Moving along to item 3, Student expulsion, discussion, consideration of a request to appeal a student expulsion. There's a possibility there will be an executive session under the provisions of LRS 42 6.1A7 to conduct an appeal hearing for a student expulsion. The hearing may be open or closed at the option of the parent or guardian. Board members, have you had the opportunity to review the case? Do I have a motion to hear the matter at the next regular board meeting? Moving along to item 4, student expulsion. Discussion, consideration of a request to appeal a student expulsion. Mr. Shamlin, there is a possibility there will be an executive session under the provisions of LRS 42 6.1A7 to conduct an appeal hearing for a student expulsion. The hearing may be open or closed at the option of the parent. Board members, have you had an opportunity to review the case? Do I have a motion to hear this matter at our next regular meeting? Moving along, item I, organizational items. Mr. Russ.
Announcement of meetings. Committee of the Whole meeting to be held on March 5th, 2026 at 5 p.m. in the Central Office Boardroom. Regular meeting to be held on March 19th, 2026 at 5 p.m. in the Central Office Boardroom.
And that concludes our board meeting, and we are adjourned.